welcome back. We're moving on to week 8. We are starting week 8 at 5-1. This is officially the halfway point of the season after that very trying comeback victory against Kent State, who has the greatest quarterback of all time, if you remember. So once we get started here, we'll do what we usually do, and we'll start off looking at the top 25, specifically the top 10, and we'll see what's going on in the conference. And also after that, we'll check out our recruits, and we'll see how they're progressing. We'll see if we can't steal some more good recruits from people who aren't paying attention. So, I believe this week we are at home versus the University of Miami, of Ohio, that is. Which is the Coach's Cradle, if you didn't know. They are rather famous, or at least they were rather famous, for producing some of the best college football coaches of all time. The likes of Woody Hayes and people along those lines. Ohio, actually, like I've said in previous videos, Ohio has a very strong and rich football tradition. Not even just from the Ohio State Buckeyes, but Paul Brown and the Brown family, that whole thing. But would you check that out? We also have a very big slate of recruits coming in this week. So, before we go on, it looks like I think Miami are the Redhawks, or maybe they're the Blackhawks. I can't remember. Maybe I'm thinking of Black Hawk Down, and that's not actually real. Oh well, we'll find out soon enough. Either way, let's go ahead and check that top 10. So it looks as if Ohio State is still churning strong and moving on after they beat Texas A&M 27-17. Alabama's still making it work, 7 wins, and it looks like those are the clear 2 favorites, which, big shocker. It was the same back in 2013 as it is now. So then you got Oklahoma, South Carolina, surprising Washington, Michigan State, Texas, Oregon, UCLA, and then Louisville, and it looks like somebody, so it's really just sort of shaking itself up. Ohio State looks like it jumped Alabama there after they beat Texas A&M. And are we receiving votes yet? No, we're not. Again, nobody's paying attention to what's happening over here in Amherst. And this is kind of like how this is going to go, right? Most of the season, we'll be lucky to get any kind of attention whatsoever from the top 25 team. And that's mainly because our strength of schedule is absolute. So when you don't play anybody, they think you're worth half your shit. So they don't think you're worth half your shit. Oh, and it looks like Northern Illinois finally dropped the game, so we are still in the lead in our conference. So, check that out. We are on a collision course with Ohio. With that said, let's check the Heisman watch and see if maybe we're getting any buzz there, and it doesn't look like it. Again, when you play nobody, they don't really give a shit. They think that they could probably do perform the exact level of excellence that Joe Howard is performing at. I don't know why I keep wanting to call him Josh Howard. Just really quick, we'll go ahead and toss this other point for our defensive coordinator into this, because Lord knows we need some coverage skills. Especially since we're going to be facing such a murderer's row of quarterbacks. So with that said, we're going to get into the recruiting portion. Go ahead and skip to this timestamp if you do not want to watch that. And for those of you who are still around for the continuing masterclass in recruiting we have going on here, we're going to fill in a lot of the visits that do we have. So in this guy, we haven't put any points into really, but he's still ready for a visit. And this is the benefit of keeping these JUCO guys on the list like this. There was one other person, and that's this fella. So we got lucky here. And it looks as if, so before I add that tight end, I'm going to put him on the list as well. Is it Donnell King? Is he he's a JUCO guy, right? Yeah, he may not make the final roster. And as a matter of fact, I'll go ahead and say, let's see. Before I make this move, I think we have another tight end down here. Is he not a JUCO person? He is not a JUCO person. So, you know, I'll go ahead and take them. I'll go ahead and take them both, and if I need to cut them, I'll cut them. I may be wasting a scholarship by doing this. This is something I admittedly don't have a whole lot of experience with, to be all the way transparent about it. I usually don't need to recruit 25 people to fill out a roster and to make a roster better all the way around. But you know, hey, we're learning here. So with that, it looks like we are still holding serve. And we are still in the lead on a lot of these over a lot of these teams. It looks like somebody finally woke up with this guy, but that's okay because we got a bajillion wide receivers coming in next year, and most of them will probably play right off the bat, so we'll automatically have a better offense like pretty much day one next year. But as you can see, we are still holding serve, even with Lee Russell here. So we are on pace to steal the number 2 defensive end, 5-star, 6'3", 240-pound Lee Russell from Danville, Virginia, with a 155 in the bonus. And that's just because, again, these teams don't get started on some of these guys until way late, and we've already built up such a giant lead, and we're still pulling away from Alabama, that this guy hopefully will commit this week, if not next week, because if we get into a recruiting battle with them, it might be not so good for us. We might lose him, but we'll see how it goes. Either way, that's why we got multiple defensive ends on the list here. And it seems as if, like I said, otherwise we are still holding serve rather well. See, this is the stuff that really kind of makes me worry, right? Like, so these teams have finally woken up. These Texas A&Ms and these Georgias down here. However, it looks as if they are way behind. Over 1,000 points, and if we can get him to commit before week 9, and since Georgia's over 2,000 points back, they may not be able to make up enough points even with a visit. So if we can get him to commit this week, we will steal him, and neither of these teams will get a chance. And even still, since they're only gaining 20 and 40 points respectively each week, it's going to be a very hard climb for them to come back in to actually get any kind of real shot at getting this guy to commit to them. So again, we might steal this mother too, who is also a 5-star. But we'll see. Some of these guys are a little might be out of our reach, though, because sometimes these teams do come back and they do steal some stuff from you. So I'm going to go ahead and take Jared Parker and Clayton Wynn off of the list here, because these teams have woken up before we can actually do anything to get these guys. So we'll trim some of the fat here. We may actually end up finding some other players down the line. But, you know, as many of these, I mean, you look at these overalls, right? Like, pretty much every one of these guys that we're putting points into is immediately going to be a better player than anybody we have already on the team, given that most of the people are 60s and 70s and stuff like that. Hell, the best player on our team is like the punter, and he's like an 81. So, you know, this is basically how you do this, right? So with this said, we're going to go, and it looks like we're going to lose him, so we'll go ahead and take Chauncey Lindsay off the list there. But everybody else, okay, Josh Carrington can go. And it looks as if pretty much every other person. Oh, it looks like Tommy McCormick, huh? He's a JUCO dude. So we might actually be able to still slide in late on him and actually take him from somebody. Even though it looks like Miami has probably just put him on their list, because I don't see I don't see an actual scholarship offered to him. So he might actually be somebody that we can still look at later on. So I won't take him off the list just yet. So it looks like everybody else is where they need to be. We've got all of our visits scheduled. We got 14 recruits coming in this particular week. Before we go ahead and get into the game, let's go ahead and check and see who has a top class so far. And we're right near the bottom. And it looks like Middle Tennessee State is the only team that doesn't actually have a recruit coming in this year. Or a recruit currently committed. So there is that. So let's go up to the top here, shall we? So Oklahoma has 8 commits already. Holy shit. And Boise State's got 9. That's pretty wild. So let's check it out, right? So they got 2 4-star tackles, 1 4-star D tackle, 1 4-star outside linebacker, a kicker, a free safety, a guard, and a punter. They're all 3 stars. So good for them. They're making headway. And Boise's doing well too, it looks like. So it's a lot of defensive players right there. But all right, with that said, that will wrap up the recruiting. And we will get to our game versus Miami. So, to look them over, it seems like they have a very poor offense, but then again, this is exactly what happened last time when we looked at Kent State's statistical categories and where they rank, their statistical rankings. And when that happened, their quarterback played better than anything we've ever seen in our entire career here. But it looks like their quarterback's injured, so they have a backup. So I'm hoping that that's actually going to translate to us being able to actually do something and not be completely just slaughtered and in the face and all sorts of crazy like that. So with that said, let's get this thing started. And they are the Redhawks. It's an interesting helmet. Do they have Red Sox? Yeah, that's crazy. Why don't they have Red Sox? All right. You know, we'll go with the maroon and black. All right, critical mass engaged. Like I said, I hope this game isn't filled with as many crazy long plays as the other games have been, but if I had to wager, I would say that we're at least going to have one giant busted play where 2 guys miss a tackle in the backfield, and then, you know, the running back runs it for 75 yards and scores. So it looks like their 2 best players are on defense. Like I said, I'm happy. So quarterback, strong safety, and left tackle are all injured. Hooray. Yeah, those are cool helmets. So yeah, they are abysmal on offense. I mean, they're triple digits in everything, basically. But that was the same way for good old Toledo, or rather not Toledo, but Kent State. So many college football teams in Ohio. So let's get this show on the road here. So Miami lost the toss. I'm gonna receive it. Gonna take the ball. Just because I would rather have the lead to start off with, because obviously we don't know how to play any kind of defense here in Amherst. But luckily we do have a good offense. So, all right, here we go. Oh my God. What a great start. Anyway, I'm glad that didn't go disastrously bad. That's the wrong formation, but you guessed it, tray open offset. And it looks as if I'm gonna run this ball. All right. Little 2 yards here. Got to make the first cut. Get that bleeding started. Let's see if they are matching up decently well here for the run, so we'll pass it. Attaboy Peterson. Solid catch. All right. First down of the game. We are moving along. Look at Amherst, man. Stadium's rocking. It's all right. 2 for 22. And yet again, it looks as if this will be a decent time to pass the ball. Yep, look at Lance throwing motherfucker on the ground. You love to see it. All right, see, right here is where we're gonna go for a nice little pass play because they are single high safety. However, I'm gonna have Dixon do a curl route out there. Yeah, nice catch. And that's his 101st catch of the year, and this is the 7th game we've played, I do believe, because we are 5-1. It's another great throw, great catch. Now we'll bludgeon them a little bit with a run here. Good run, George. George. It's a solid 10-yard run right there. By the way, if you want to hear me curse and you don't want to have all of the curses beeped out, head on over to Rumble. All of our videos, period, no matter what you find on the channel here on YouTube, or if you're over on Rumble, all of it will be uncensored. So you'll get to hear me say things like, which is such a great word. And I think that's the national word of Australia, if I'm not mistaken. Or as they say. All right. Anyway, back to football. So this looks like a good time to pass the ball. There's nobody covering Peterson right here, as you can see. So, good catch. And all I know is that if I was a wide receiver and I watched any film on the way that this offense was ran, I would absolutely want to play for the UMass Minutemen and Coach X. Oh, come on. He was down. He was totally down. Nope, he was down. He was down. At least I hope he was down. Yeah, he was totally down. Yeah, knee was down. Left knee was down. See, watch right there. His knee's down, and then the ball comes out. Get the out of here. Attaboy, refs. Bad call is bad. Get your eyes checked, ref. Right. This is going to be another pass because I do believe that outside linebacker there is going to blitz. I was wrong. And hey, my boy Johnson, he caught it. Thankfully, that other defender wasn't paying attention, or else that would have probably been an interception. That's all right. Nice little 12-yard gain, and we're first and goal. I'm going to run this ball. So close. My man Frederick almost had it. Frederic, I should say, because I've given him the name of a Frenchman. So Peterson for a touchdown right here. You ready? Yep. There it is, boys. Yet again, the death by 1,000 cuts offense, I should say, functions just as intended. Many plays and many points. And that drive was way more than 3 plays. It was 3 plays after the fumble reverse. Oh, look at Kent State. Yeah, look at old S. Moore over there. 11 for 28. Strange. Off day for him, apparently. Because that motherfucker was, what, 24 of 28 against us or something stupid like that? 82% completion percentage. Alright, time to struggle our way through some defense here. Yep, that was on me. I didn't get there quick enough. And you know, of course, this is exactly how this works on Heisman. Any mistake whatsoever, and you are absolutely penalized for it. Just like that. If you don't match up perfectly and your guys aren't exactly where they need to be, every quarterback is just going to slice you to pieces. So this is one of the reasons why I prefer to have pressure on the quarterback at almost all times. So it's not just a, hey, he sits back there and eventually he gets to see whatever guy is or isn't open. Because there's always going to be some guy that's just open enough, and the computer is always going to be able to see it straight off the bat. And this is what it's like to play Heisman. I would never ever recommend that anybody who is easily frustrated or easily upset to play this game on Heisman. That's for damn sure. It's a great tackle. You guessed it, Monster Green. Ooh, good play on the defense. By the way, I'm trying not to be too loud right now because it's like 3 o'clock in the morning. And I live in an apartment complex, so if I start screaming at the top of my lungs, my neighbors might get a little upset. But I still might do it because I live dangerously. Did he? Yeah, he had enough. Oh, he didn't have enough leg. Oh my God, why didn't you catch that, Dixon? Dude, I swear to God, this hits Dixon in the back of the head. Watch, it bounces off the crossbar, doink, and then doink. Oh, it went through him. Weird. Physics don't exist anymore. Anyway, back on offense we are, and it looks as if the defense held up. Thankfully their kicker sucks. Doing this with Dixon. Good catch, Dixon. He's been the bell cow. The bread and butter. The workhorse. Whatever term you want to use. He's been the lunch pail guy. Just showing up to work. Doing his job. Catching 100 passes in 6 games. Pretty ridiculous. It's almost like he's the best player on our team or something. Okay, blitz. We're blitzing, huh? So I bet you this defensive end drops into coverage. I was wrong. Glad I was wrong. My man Peterson. They weren't ready for Lance today. We're making it happen, though. We're making it happen. I'll take our time here and be a little deliberate. But look how much space they're giving Lance over here. I mean, goddamn, look at that. It's another 9 yards for that boy. What's funny is he might get cut after this year. I really have no idea because I know he's like a 60-something. So I hope he enjoys his time in the sun while he has it. And he better make hay while the sun is shining. It's a solid 4-yard run for George. Badass 11-yard run for that boy. We're making it happen. Got to give him a breather now. Eric Smith is coming in. Oh, and look at this. More stupid-ass blitzes. So I bet you this defensive end drops into coverage because they love to do this to me, but no, they're not doing it. I'm really kind of surprised that they're not running those plays. Like, usually when you do it must be a man blitz kind of thing, then they must be a team that likes to use man blitzing, because when you run a zone blitz kind of scheme, usually you do some crazy where zone blitzes are generally predicated on sending pressure from a place that the offense isn't expecting it, which is usually the safety position, right? So the safety is blitzing when normally safeties don't really blitz. At least theoretically. So as a result, sometimes you can bait quarterbacks into throwing easy interceptions to players that they wouldn't be expecting to drop into coverage, like a defensive end, for instance. And those are pretty much how zone blitzes were originally designed to work and have worked for quite some time. No, they did a good job stopping me there. First quarter's over. Jam in here. Yep. Scored standing up. Attaboy, George. I wonder if we might be able to get him drafted based off of production. Like I said earlier, I don't give a f. And at the end of the year, before the season is over, right? Before the end of the season, after whatever bowl game we end up being in, I will quite literally edit the roster and change those players in terms of height and weight to make sure that they get drafted, or at least that they are draft eligible and they aren't excluded from the draft by virtue of their physical measurements. Because there's a lot of time that will happen. I've even in some of the offline dynasties I've run, I've had like natural 99s, like dudes who are like outside linebackers and that weighed just a little less than the NFL quote-unquote likes them to weigh, or at least back then liked them to weigh, and they would just go undrafted as like a 99. I'm over here losing my mind, like, geez, like I wish the Browns would draft that guy. Oh my god, speaking of which, damn it, come on. Hey, you know what, we called it though, we knew this was gonna happen. I told you this was gonna happen. 75-yard run. You ain't that good, Gerald. Calm the f down. So, 1 tackle, 2 tackles, 3 tackles, and then he was just faster than everybody else. Well, good play. Like I said, you knew it was coming. If you've watched this defense now, this is the 7th game. We would be stupid to have this happen every game and get upset when it continues to happen, because this is what happens when you don't know how to tackle as a defense. And clearly you need to tackle the guy or he's going to score. Not really quite sure what happened right there, but that's okay. Because we got the ball back, and we're gonna bleed some clock out here as we extend the lead. That looked rough. But another solid 6 for George. He's got 12 for 57 and a tud. See if we can't get him a little bit more. So another good 3, little 3-yard run here. Making it a really manageable 3rd down. See what we can do with that. Let's see if they want to do something stupid like blitz again. Nope. It looks like they're gonna play disciplined. Well, no, they blitzed, but they blitzed on the outside. Too bad we were running it up the middle. But the best thing about that particular run play, right? Inside zone. So that's a zone run scheme, right? Meaning that the offensive linemen really sort of just block whoever is closest to them, and then it's up to the running back to read exactly where to run, which is a really modern kind of offensive thing. It really, as far as I understand anyway, it was never really a thing that was back in the day, because back in the day it was just our biggest guy hits your biggest guy in the mouth, and whichever biggest guy wins. Not really so much like that anymore. Now we have finesse players and people like that who can be a little bit lighter, like linebackers, like Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, for instance, or there's that guy that plays for the Cardinals. I think his name's Isaiah Simmons. These guys who are lighter linebackers that don't really weigh 250 pounds but run like safeties, right? So you can have guys like that in the modern day NFL, because the guys in the trenches are so big and so powerful and also still skilled. Ooh, I was lucky that wasn't picked. I should stop talking about other NFL players and concentrate on this game, apparently. So, alright. Solid little 2 yards. We need 8 here to get this first down. I'm going to run the hurry up just to see if I can't catch him slipping. Those safeties are awfully close. So I'm going to audible this. Attaboy, Lance. We're going for this, by the way. But instead, what we're going to do is tight end ISO so we can get that boy Ernest in the most important receiver spot in our offense, which is right there where the A button is. However, I do believe we're going to run this ball because of how far off this linebacker is with the impact player star underneath of him. He's very far away from the ball, giving us enough space to squeak across the line and still get 10 yards. And this is one of the reasons why I love this game so much. Not just NCAA 14, but football in general. Reading a defense and being able to look at everything and how it's all going to play out and stuff like that. It's just so exciting because, like, this is, a lot of people want to say that football is a stupid game, but it's really not. It's one of the most intelligent games, and it is the ultimate team sport. I don't give a shit what anybody says. I mean, basketball's up there, baseball's kind of up there too. Those are both great team sports too, but nothing's like football. There's not a single sport out there that is more reliant on everybody being on the damn near same exact page all the time than football. Specifically 11 different people at the same time. And this is the fun of it. And it's their 11 versus our 11, right? So yet again, they are just not respecting that all-important position right there. So we're just gonna hit my man Dixon for another 9. And he's gonna get his. And that's turning out to be probably one of the most important recruiting decisions ever made. Was to get him, and he was a JUCO guy. And look at that. Old George got him 2 touchdowns in this game. Atta boy. 2 for 22. Yep, good old Ernest Dixon, a California JUCO guy, comes all the way to Massachusetts. And look at Ohio just dumping on Toledo. All right, well, now we're up by 14. We're going to kick them the ball back and hope that they don't run it for 75 more yards in a single play. When we blitz, by the way, which, guess what I picked? Good old Monster Green. Didn't matter. It's awesome when you blitz and the running back still runs it for 75. Hell yeah. Good job, defense. First incompletion, we'll take it. It's a wasted play by them. Give it the good old Monster Green, you guessed it. Really, the only thing we only have to watch out for here are the deadly screen pass or the deadly missed tackles. And see again that like he ran away from that blitz and still got 7 yards right there, right? And I guarantee you, if there weren't 2 people there to try to stop him, he totally would have just ran it for a first down right then and there. That's totally a face mask, but whatever. They didn't see it. Also, while I'm on the subject of things that we didn't see, please join our locals page. Doesn't have anything to do with what I was just talking about, contrary to how I may have phrased that, but join our locals page. We'd love to have you. If you join, we'll add your name. We'll change some of these guys' names around. Put your name on there, and at the $20 tier, we may even open it up to people who are premium members like that to be able to change a couple of the stats and make some of these players better if they want to. Fun things like that. You'll also be able to pick some of the next games we do. You'll be able to add challenges, like if you want to watch us play like a Resident Evil 2 kind of game or something where we, don't use any healing items and see how long we can survive, things like that. Fun things like that. So if you pay us money, we'll let you torture us. That's pretty much exactly how that works. So anyway, back on defense here. 2nd and 4. It looks like this is a run. So I'm gonna do SS Dogs here. Just because I think this is a run. And I was right, but it doesn't matter because Heisman and conference game. Thankfully, this team isn't a rival of ours, or it would be even worse. Wow, thankfully he threw that away because 81 was wide the open right there. So we're gonna monster green, we're gonna spy Collins. That was a good move. Yeah, so I'm calling the timeout here because I think we can get another stop. And if we get this stop, what's going to happen? Yeah! What's going to happen is they're going to kick this field goal, and then we're going to have a little less than a minute 30 to run down the field and hopefully score some more points. But if it's anything like the last field goal, it might not go through. Ooh, their kicker is booty. I'm pretty sure I could have hit that. So now we get it at the 28 with just a little less than a minute 30. Let's see what we can do, huh? Oh, come on, Dixon. Never mind that a linebacker can somehow cover him, but you know, again, this is Heisman. That's what you get on Heisman. Exactly what you get on Heisman. And then there are other times where that's what you get on Heisman, but they clearly made the wrong play call there. And these safeties are awfully shallow, which I'm going to actually have Johnson run a curl route right there. And then hit my man Dixon there in the middle of the field for another 20. So he's at 6 catches for 80 yards. Salad. See if my man Johnson can get some separation. Oh, good defense. Good defense. I'm really glad that that wasn't intercepted. Technically, that incompletion helps because it stops the clock, so we'll take it. And see, they just aren't respecting that inside slot position, so we're gonna do what we do. Attaboy Marvin. What a great catch that was. Senior stepping up big for us. You gotta love it. Let's see. Wow. Good defense. It's almost like they know we're trying to score, huh? Right. Oh, come on, Dixon. So close. Speaking of so close. Yeah. Money in the bank. Look at that. Right down the field in less than a minute. "53 seconds. 8 plays, 70 yards, 50 tree." So we are up 28-7 with 36 left in the second quarter. We'll see if Miami has any fight in them after they get the ball back to start the second half. But what they're really going to try to do here is just pass the ball like a motherfucker on us. So we're going to switch it up to the good old normal quarter formation. We're going to guess pass, but we're going to spy on Collins. Just because they love to do what the computer really likes to do in these situations is they will pull a formation like this, 3 wide, 1 tight, 1 half, and then what they'll do is run a screen out of that. And what almost always happens is the screen is run to the side that the tight end is on, or if the halfback, oh my god, come on, Jordan. Anyway, if the halfback is either on the quarterback's left side or the quarterback's right side, the halfback will go to that particular side and run the screen from that particular side. And this is definitely going to be a run. Got him. Yeah, you know what? Maybe we can get another bomb down the field here. Good defense. Nice tackle, Kenny. All right. So, yep. Here we go. Let's see if we can't squeeze a little bit more out of this last 14 seconds here. We already have a favorable matchup from a formation standpoint. But, you know, Dixon can't hold on if he gets hit like that, apparently. So this is what we'll do. Stick and nod. And if I'm reading this right, it looks like the safety is on him. Atta boy, Dixon. Over 100 yards right there. He's the fastest player on our team. Come on, come on, come on. On the ball, on the ball, on the ball. Was that a face mask? So does that stop the clock? I don't think it does. Maybe it does. Oh, man. I should have just kicked the field goal, but whatever. Whatever. No big deal. We were playing with house money there. And I guess, yeah, the defense, because the half can't end on a defensive penalty, so should have just kicked the field goal right there. But, you know, coulda, woulda, shoulda. Yeah, 9 yards per play. That's abysmal. This is what happens. I mean, you know, the defense, if you've been watching us from the beginning, you know the defense is terrible and has been from the start. Oh, man. Speaking of start. Hell yeah. Well, if they keep imploding like this game's going to be a hell of a lot easier than I anticipated. I would really like to get a sack or two for the defensive ends here. Atta boy. Still holding him to 2 yards. We'll take it. So I bet you this is going to be a run. Just from a strategy standpoint, this seems like a good time for them to run the ball. Well, I was wrong, and they got a... Oh, no, he was out of bounds. I'll take it. Right, well, here we are again. So this might be one of those screens I was telling you about, but nope. Come on! Dude, look at how, I mean, he puts this through his helmet. Like, this is an underthrown pass. Richardson was there. But this is Heisman for you, right? P.S. Like, if a guy breathes on one of your receivers and you don't have, like, conservative as far as catching turned on, they're dropping every pass. Whereas you can just whack somebody who has caught the ball near one of your receivers, or near one of their receivers, and you're never getting close to actually stopping him. Oh, and did I mention quarterbacks are breaking, like, 3 tackles before they go down? Always and forever. It's okay, though. We're only going to have to suffer through this for so long. Because next year our defense is going to be baller. And, you know, really, at the end of the day, this team is technically on an overall standpoint. From an overall standpoint, they are better than we are in terms of the ratings. So, theoretically, we should be losing to them. But because this offense is as crazy as it is, we actually have a chance to do something. And if I would have known what I know now back when I did the first season in terms of recruiting, this would be a much better team. But instead, we're Swiss cheese, and you can just walk down the field when you play the UMass Minutemen. Which is frustrating, but, you know, like I said, soon. Like, nobody can cover. Everybody's open. It's really kind of a miracle. Like, I know we've had a couple of big interceptions this year, but it's really kind of a miracle we had any at all. Pitch and catch. All right, you got your time in the sun there, Miami. Give me the ball back. So I'm going to bleed as much clock as I possibly can. Miami came to play today, and this is the best part about this is that we took the ball first, and this is that strategy paying off, right? I really wish I would have taken that field goal now. In hindsight. Illegal now. That would be illegal. That's a horse collar tackle. But anyway, like I said, in hindsight, I wish I would have taken that field goal, but we're still up by 14 points, and we have the ball here, so we're going to make the most of it. With a little 6-yard gain. This looks interesting. Nice catch, Dixon. Let's go 4 wide receivers here. Get my man Marvin out there. So they're definitely blitzing that safety. Great catch. But you see, when you blitz like that, you leave, you vacate the space that you could potentially be covering in, right? So this is why zone blitzes often work so well, because it's damn near impossible sometimes to really on the fly notice that the defensive end isn't running down at you, and in fact it's actually the safety, and then by the time you let go of the ball because you're panicked as due to the safety being in your face, you accidentally throw an interception to the defensive end that just came on the blitz. That was a good solid run. This is exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna chew the out of this clock right here, bit by bit. We're not snapping it until it's under 10 seconds. Oh, come on, Howard. Get rid of that ball. At least the clock is still running. But, you know, like right off the bat, like 68 may as well just not even have been there. So we'll see if we can't get some separation here. I like that they're playing off coverage. We might be able to get Dixon on this underneath right here. And we did. 4th and 1, huh? They didn't call a timeout, did they? Why'd the clock stop? Oh, okay. So I'm going for this. Because like I said, it's 3 a.m. and I live dangerously. But what's not going to happen, though, is I'm not going to run this ball. Ready for it? My man Ronnie King was ready for it. Attaboy, Ronnie. All right, we are moving right along here. I think I'm going to run this ball. Yep, good call. Solid 10 yards right there, even though George got whacked. He still held on. That's all that matters. Hopefully he doesn't have a concussion. Let's see, they have 2, 4, 6, 7 in the box right now. That means there's only 4 players to cover the other 4 players out there. And considering that one of them is completely free, like right there, like my man Dixon, which I don't know why you would just let this guy continue to get a free release. But considering he's free like that, he's going to get what's called a free release. He's going to be able to run his route without anybody being in his face, and he's going to just be able to sit in that open space right there. So schematically, if you're gonna blitz like that, you better do like what Penn State did or like what Kent State did, and you better drop somebody into coverage right there where that guy is going to potentially run a short route, because the quarterback is likely going to want to get rid of it really quickly. So you want to put somebody there to potentially pick it off really quickly when he throws it under duress like that. Theoretically, anyway. Alright then. So we're moving right along here. It looks like we're going to be taking up the vast majority of the third quarter here with this drive. So I'm gonna switch this up and see if I can't get Dixon another touchdown here. At least he caught it. I'm thankful for that. So what's actually going to happen now is we're going to go to 4 wide receivers. I went the wrong way. There we go. My man Ronnie. Either, we'll try to run this really quick. See if we can't get George 3 touchdowns in the day. Because it looks like they're matching up rather well over here. At least matching up well enough to stop the pass, but they're just going to let Georges Frederic walk in. That's 3 for him today. I don't think he's had 3 touchdowns in a game all year. Either way, this offense is very productive in terms of scoring. And look at that. We took 5 minutes off the clock right there. So not only can we do it quick, but we can do it slow. And it helps to be versatile. And by doing it like this, we limit, and clearly since we can't stop them on offense, the best offense or the best defense against their offense is just basically to ensure that they never touch the ball. And by how do we do that? We accomplish that by making sure that they don't even have time to do anything. So if they score, they're going to score quick, whatever, we're going to make them earn it. But while we have the ball, we're going to bleed and siphon as much time off the clock as we possibly can, so they don't have time to do damn near anything. Let's see, that's Heisman right there, right? This terrible quarterback, like I guarantee you he's not a good player. I guarantee it. But he's going to play out of his mind. Every quarterback we play is Peyton Manning, for sure. And since we don't have the speed yet at the defensive back position, we're really not going to be able to do a whole lot in terms of really trying to stop these people and really being able to get to the quarterback. This defense will shine when I have very fast people on the perimeter and playing the safety position. Once there's a lot of speed out there, this defense is really going to take off, and that's because the quarterback's not going to have enough time to think about actually getting the ball to the right person quick enough. But sometimes he just runs around the corner with his big slow ass. But that's the 4th quarter. Hooray, we're up by 21. Yeah, 35-14, boys. Doing well so far. And once we get people who actually know how to cover too, that'll be great. But there's a lot of those this particular recruiting class. There's a lot of D linemen, a lot of wide receivers, so it's going to be vastly improved. Probably not going to get any sacks today, it looks like, so what are you going to do? Which is kind of a shame because, we have all these defensive ends in the building. But at least we're going to get some good wide receiver production. Really thought he was going to break that tackle and run to the end zone. Because, again, we are Swiss cheese. This is the Swiss cheese defense. Holes all over the goddamn place. You want to run the ball? Awesome. You want to throw the ball? Awesome. Come on down to the Massachusetts Minutemen Swiss Cheese Emporium. Oh, hey. Wow, an incomplete pass. Shocking. Good tackle. I don't think we've had a TFL all day, which is kind of crazy. Maybe one or two. Maybe we've had one or two. This is a trick, right? Too wide. Too wide, too tight end, and a halfback. This is a trick. Yeah. Kick that ball. Good defense right there. Oh, they're going for it. You know what? Right here is where we're going to get really crazy and pick Storm Red. Hell yeah. Good defense. No points for them. I don't know what. I think he should have thrown it to... it looks like he just overthrew that pass. Because that dude was open, and he probably... I mean, knowing the computer, he probably would have ran for a touchdown. So, Huh? I just... still scratching my head on that one. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm definitely happy it happened. But at the same time, you know... Huh? To quote the angry video game nerd, what were they thinking? And shout out to AVGN, by the way. I know you'll never watch this, but I love you. It's been like, I don't know, 10 some odd years. It's been over a decade of angry video game nerd videos. I've watched your hairline recede with love and care over all this time. I tried, but nobody ran the right way, and they're like, oh, you know, like I love how Dixon runs like look at him running the other way. Like, why didn't he break to the right? Not that Howard is gonna ever actually make a good throw on the run or anything like that, but you know what? Fucking, this was dumb on their part. Oh boy, well, I'm gonna have to punt it now. Because that was almost a safety. Actually, no, no. I picked the wrong formation. So we want max cover punt. There we go. Well, and they have fantastic field position. So, I mean, that was a terrible punt. Our special teams suck ass, and it's, you know, like I said, I've really tried my best to shield the rest of the team by making sure that the offense was the thing that was, you know, front and center and was getting most of the work on the field. Yep. Just as I expected. Nobody knows how to tackle. It's actually so, and what's funny about this too is that, you know, again, Heisman, the difference between Heisman and All-American is that Heisman is just like set up to be just unfair, in my opinion. Like, it really is not anything that anybody would consider fair. Their defensive backs always know when you're about to do something. Your defensive backs are basically functionally retarded, and I don't mean that to disparage the differently able. No, what I mean is that they, as soon as the ball is snapped, their brains just stop working correctly, and then something is wrong with their minds, that they're not working correctly. Yeah, there's a good TFL. Atta boy. It's Steve Rogers. This worked really well last time, so I'm going to pick cover 1 here. And we're going to spy. I wonder if they're going to try to do a screen. They're not gonna. No, they don't have to, because, you know, All of their receivers and every one of their players are effectively better than mine. But this is what I mean with Heisman, right? So you are immediately at a disadvantage from an AI standpoint. So the quarterback is always going to find the right receiver almost instantly if you blitz. So if you don't get to the quarterback quick enough, you're f***ed. If you don't have people that can cover, you're f***ed. If you so in a way it simulates real life like that, where it really is supposed to ratchet up the differences between the teams, right? So the small little differences will be much more pronounced because the AI has such an advantage over you in terms of what it can do and what you can't do. So I would say, you know, especially with the sliders that I have on particularly, good luck. You better have years of experience, or you just better be good at this game. Or you better be a glutton for punishment or something like that. Like, you better just enjoy having your ass kicked on some level, because it's going to happen. That didn't even look like he got his hands on the ball, but whatever. I'll take it. Good little 3-yard run there. Got a boy Dixon. That was a clutch catch right there. We really needed that. So we're going to go back to the normal formation here and get my man Lance back out on the field. We really kind of started off like hammering him and getting a lot of catches to him. And we really sort of just slowed down after that. We really got to keep that play style up for receiving tight end, because we're really going to need those in the future. And that was a great run by George. He's been the workhorse today. So say what you want about our passing game, but if we didn't have old George Frederick, man, it would be not good at all. And look at them blitzing right here. So I expect that this defensive end is going to drop back in coverage, so I'm audibling that route to a slant. I was wrong. But it's cool because my man Lance came through. Got him a pass. And another catch here, and he'll have over 100 yards, so. And I know it looks like this would be a great time to try to pass to him, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to bleed more clock and then run it, because, you know, the bleeding of the clock is the most important thing right now. Oh, and see, now they're taking timeouts because they know. They figured it out. It's almost like they can hear me talk or something, huh? Yeah, well, George was the player of the game today with 3 tuds, man. He's really put it down. He's put it on the floor, on the mat for us. He's really, you know, put in the work. Oh, look at Ernest with a 40-yard grab. Atta boy, Ernest. God, I'm so happy for him. He really is. He's been the best JUCO transfer I've had probably in all the time I've been playing this goddamn game. Y'all ready for George to get his 4th touchdown? I am. Look at that. Look at that. 2 + 2 is 4, mother. Atta boy, George. All right. So, listen to that crowd, too. We ate up 2 minutes. I wish it would have been more than that, but, you know, when you got a 40-yard pass play in that drive, it's okay. I'll take it. Great drive. Listen to that crowd. Well, you guys really can't hear them because it's muted, but the crowd's going nuts right now. Alright, so now what they're going to do, obviously, is just try to pass. Because they really don't have any recourse. So what we're going to do is we are going to guess pass and then spy on Collins. And hopefully we can get some sacks here. See, that's why we're going to spy on Collins. Because they're going to do some tricky bull like that. And look at him, just wasting time. Wait. That was weird. Okay. I don't know why they did that when they really, I mean, they just wasted it down right there. That was really stupid on their part. So let's get a sack. Come on. Oh, I was right at his feet. Oh, damn it. Well, again, like I said, this is the Swiss cheese emporium over here. We have holes all over the place, and you can do whatever you want on offense, and generally speaking, probably going to have success. Yep, right down the field, just walking right down the field like we're not even here. So close. Should have been intercepted right there. Oh, come on, you gotta pick that off, Nick. So I would be watching for the screen right here, but I don't. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to happen like that. Instead, we got another deflection. So that's good for the stats, good for the recruits to see. They're going to have to go for this. So yeah, no shock there. 4th and 10, and this is the formation that they pick. So like I said, I almost guarantee this is a screen. I am shocked that it's not. Ooh! Atta boy. 81? Who the f was that? Was that Dixon? What the fuck was he doing in there on defense? How did Dixon get a sack? Wait a minute. What the f? How did that even happen? Wait. Was he in there at DB? He was totally in there at defensive back. Look at my man Dixon. Holy shit. He got a sack. Unabated to the quarterback. Wow. MVP performance. Holy shit, this guy. What a ball player. Catches touchdowns, sacks the quarterback. That's how you can tell we have a bad team. I'm legitimately shocked. And there's 100 yards for my man. So we're going to run this clock down and put an end to this fairly good win, and once again our high-powered offense saves our ass from any kind of real consequences. This is why us getting the ball first is most likely always going to work out better, since we have absolute bums playing defense for us for the most time, unless Ernest Dixon somewhat inexplicably gets in there, which I have no idea how that happened, by the way. I don't understand. I don't think he's listed anywhere on the depth chart at DB or linebacker, but for some odd reason. Oh, see what I mean with dropping that defensive end right there? Whatever. No big deal. So we're gonna get a little creative here and f around with the route combination. Come on, King. You gotta catch that. Remember what I was saying earlier, though? Like, if there's a wide receiver or a defender anywhere near your wide receiver, they just forget that that it's their job to catch the ball. No big deal. We'll take the field goal. Call it a solid 45-21. Nice 24-point victory. Well, look at Ball State getting to 500 right there. And we're coming for that ass, Ball State. I have not forgotten. I have not forgotten what you did to us in the championship game last year. I have not forgotten. If I remember right, I threw 4 interceptions in that game or something. It was not good. But they, you know, they won. They played well. Like, how are you going to let him catch that through you? I mean, watch this pass. He throws it through the guy. And again, my players are thinking about the hot cheerleader that they're about to have sex with after the game, right? Not even reminding themselves that they're in a goddamn football game. And meanwhile, they're running the ball. Hell yeah, solid win. 45-21, 24-point victory. George Frederick is probably going to get the player of the game. Oh wow, really? Joe Howard, huh? Oh no, okay. That's what I mean. Yeah, he should have got it. He got 4. He had 4 touchdowns. He should. He was the difference today. Because these teams know what I want to do. Down here on the goal line, they know that I'm about to try to throw the ball, so they're trying to play that pass. But instead, they get the run. So we're going to skip the highlights here. Check out these game stats, and then we will call it a week. So, 34 of 45, 424 and 2 touchdowns. Pretty solid day. Less touchdowns than I would like, but what are you going to do? George had 28 carries, 144 yards for 4 touchdowns. Awesome day for him. 16 catches, 234 yards, and 1 touchdown for Dixon. Peterson had 12 catches, 110 yards, and a touchdown. Ronnie King had 3 for 36. Marvin Green, 2 for 32. Phillip Johnson had 1 for 12. And this motherfucker gave up a sack. See, and everybody else, Phillip Johnson had 2 pancakes. So as far as TFLs were concerned, Richardson had 3, and one of the game's only sacks. Like I said, that was totally Ernest Dixon. For some crazy reason, he gets on the field for 1 play and sacks the quarterback in a clutch moment. Anyway, we had 7 7 TFLs. Just the 2 sacks, no interceptions. We had plenty of deflections today, 4 to be exact. 3 by defensive backs, so that's good. So here's where it's really going to look bad for us, right? Yeah, so we had 45-21, 32 first downs to 17, 542 to 423 in total offense. They had 18 rushes, 103 yards. We had 30 for 118. They were 24 of 33 for 2. We were 34 of 45 for 2. 320 pass yards versus 424. They were 6 for 11 on third down. We were 4 of 8. 2 for 2 on fourth for us. 0 for 2 on fourth for them. We were 8, 6, and 1 in the red zone for 87%. They were 4 and 2 for 50. 4, 2, and 0. Missed both of their field goals. And we, out averaged them. Those 3 penalties. 3 penalties really them, I think. And where we won this game were the missed field goals, the penalties, and the time of possession. So that ball control offense, that death by 1,000 cuts offense pays off yet again. So let's see. We'll go ahead and exit this game. We'll call it a game. Let's see what happened around the country really quick here at the end, and then we'll wrap it up. Wow, Oregon barely beat USC, or UCLA, I should say. And Texas A&M finally gets another win. Washington's still steamrolling people. Penn State got their ass beat by Ohio State, of course. So what are you going to do? Not much you can really do. Oh, David X and Reggie Wright leveled up. So, with that said, actually, I'm going to go ahead and spend this final coach point here before we go into next week. And you guessed it. Letter of intent. And guess what that means? We can finally start getting insta commits, and that's going to really change the game for us in recruiting. So, with that said, that's it, and that's all for week 8. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Join our locals page for all sorts of crazy benefits, and if you want to hear me say and things like that, please check us out on Rumble. With that said, thanks for watching. See you next time.